Taking you back to our top story now, Gauteng commuters have been left stranded today as the taxi industry went on strike. Unions are unhappy about the more than R1 billion relief package that government is offering them. Let's get more on these developments from Santaco spokesperson Thabiso Molelekwa. Mr. Molelekwa, on the first day of shutdown, we saw thousands of commuters stranded, unable to get to work. We also saw reports of violence and intimidation. In one such instance, the Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula attempted to address protesters or disgruntled taxi industry's members gathered in Tshwane and was forced to flee the scene after members surrounded him in an intimidating fashion. Is that what we could expect to see more of tomorrow, a continued shutdown, more violence and intimidation?
Well, firstly, good evening, Annalie, and to the viewers of ENCA. Thank you for the opportunity. But I think one must just clarify. In as far as we know, as Santaco, the strike was a one-day only. That is what Santaco Gauteng has communicated to us, and this is what we know so far. There is no formal indication of the continuation of the strike tomorrow. And as far as the minister's situation in Soshanguve is concerned, I think this is our general concern as Santaco, that the minister seems to underestimate the anger, the frustration and despondency people are experiencing as a result of the way in which government has approached this matter of the relief fund in as far as it would relate to the taxi industry. He did the same thing even on Friday after having spoken to us. He did not give us an opportunity to go and speak to our constituency. He gave us a surprise party by making an announcement on issues that are still under discussion. He has created confusion. So these are the issues that we are dealing with. It is true that we are not happy with the 1.1 billion. It does not even speak to the basic issues and problems that the taxi industry is facing.
So we understand that the minister is standing firm, very much so, that there will be no more money from Treasury for the taxi industry. We know that there were also talks of a nationwide shutdown on the cards. Seeing as Gauteng taxi industry have not discussed a continued shutdown for tomorrow, is that national shutdown still on the cards?
Well, we have not mooted the issue of a nationwide shutdown. In the beginning of the lockdown, there was that discussion. As Santaco, we intervened and people were able to understand that there was a need for us to give government an opportunity so that we can collaborate in addressing the problems that are confronting the taxi industry. But you see, that is the problem. The minister that we have is that the minister went on national television. He says to the public that this is the best and final offer of government. He has not given the opportunity to the industry to, discuss possible options that could be explored to see how best to supplement the current offer of government. So, and these are the results that we are faced with now as it happens in Gauteng. But now that he has said that we are going to have a further discussion on Wednesday, we will take him up on that. But it is important that our leadership in government understands when there are negotiations in place, it's important that we speak in one voice as to what we communicate and how we understand those discussions to be. If there are discussions, then let's treat them as such. Let's engage until we agree as parties that we have reached a deadlock, and we then both go to our constituencies and determine the next way forward.
Right, so from what I can understand, and just to clarify, for all those commuters who were stranded today, tomorrow taxis will be operating again, and you as Santaco will go back to the drawing board with the Minister of Transport, Fikile Mbalula, to meet with him on Wednesday to discuss further options. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
So just in terms of what the result was of today, do you feel that you've achieved something by today's shutdown? Just looking at the kind of impact it's had, thousands of people couldn't make it to work. Some of them will have to face serious repercussions for that. There's a financial implication on people who've had to make other arrangements with regard to transport. The economy has taken a knock just from one day of taxi shutdowns. Do you feel it was worth it?
Look, firstly, this was a Santaco Gauteng project. As Santaco, we will not be able to comment with so much conviction, but we can say it as a matter of fact in terms of the impact that in as far as our observation is concerned, the strike has had a huge impact. We do, however, regret the impact it has on the commuters. Unfortunately, there's a situation that has been handled badly that we are trying to manage, and therefore we hope going forward we would be able to hold each other's hand in terms of this process with government. But we must indicate that we hope everybody has had its opportunity to learn from the exercise of today, and we are able to handle the matter with more sensitivity and with more thought in as far as the discussions going forward.
All right, thank you very much for your participation. That was Santaco spokesperson Thabiso Molelekwa.